All right, welcome back. This is Group Nine's Week 3 update. In this update, we have to go establish goals, finalize our project topic, and do a couple of other things in Jira. And the goals are supposed to be directly related to the course objectives. So we open up the syllabus. There are 5 course objectives that we're trying to get learning outcomes for, and we make goals to meet those.
So the first course objective we had for this class was to develop linear mathematical models for mechanical systems. So our goal for our project is to take given data and input values and then use that to create functions to model the system response based on what we're given for inputs.
The second objective was the objective is to learn how to use block diagrams to represent systems. This can be a very simple way to represent complex systems. So our goal is to take our system and create an accurate and simplistic block diagram that describes the system we are analyzing in the project.
The third objective was to determine transient response and steady state errors of linear systems. So we'll be analyzing the system using MATLAB tools, and we'll use a variety of inputs. So step functions or sinusoidals, depending on what we want to do, because we want to relate it to actual inputs that the system would see. And then at the end, we'll compare it to real world data to determine some of the errors.
So then for the fourth objective was to familiarize ourselves with controllers for linear systems, like P and Pi controllers. So our goal for this was to understand ways to collect real world data to compare with the math model. So like coming up with different testing things for to get data for our project.
And our final course description was to carry out the design project and discuss the results. So the goal that we set for ourselves was once we're done analyzing the system, we design a model and visuals based around our findings, and being able to discuss that amongst the grooves and compile what we found into a comprehensive and understandable report so that we can educate other people who are interested on our topic.
And with that being said, we decided to pick making a quarter car analysis of the Baja car suspension going over an obstacle that we would see in competition. So the car goes over a variety of different obstacles, and we have some input data on those, and we want to use our real world inputs and stuff that we actually see with the car for something useful. And quarter car analysis just refers to that we, instead of looking at the whole car suspension together, we're looking at just one of the 4 tires at a time. And with that, we'll do a JIRA update. Oops. You guys see JIRA?
Yep.
Okay. So here's our roadmap. We are currently right about the end of sprint 2. Sprint 2 will end tomorrow with the turning in of this update. And then sprint 3, we'll start sprint 3. And that has a lot of our actual in-depth analysis and other things we need to do for this project in it. And then after that, we'll get into sprint 4. And sprint 4 is basically finalizing all results, making sure we do everything correctly, and making a nice report. When we come out here to the board, we can see, like I said, we're just finishing up sprint 2. We made the tentative outline. We discussed and established goals like we just talked about earlier in this update. We picked the system we wanted to do the analysis of, and we are working on finalizing the Scrum board, so it'll be all set up and really useful for us to help us stay on track and get this project done.